Welcome back to Calculus. We are looking at example number 2 from module 0. Point, let's see here, 0.2.3, I believe. This is the third video from that section, and we're working on finding the slope. Our solution is 2 as long as h is not 0. So we're looking to find the slope between 2 points, and the difference in this problem versus the other problems is that we've got variables in here. So I want to draw out a picture of what's going on, because otherwise it just feels like we're manipulating variables. Now this technique, and the reason that I picked this example to give to you guys, is because it's very important when you're calculating derivatives. So here's the idea. In the next couple chapters, or at least that first chapter on derivatives, we're going to take a look at the slope between 2 points, and we're going to talk about things like limits and pushing things towards infinity and seeing what happens to the overall function. Now we've got 2 points. I've got one point A, which is 1, and then it's just 1 over and 3 up. So this is the point A at 1, 3. Now the point B is 1 plus h over. Okay, so this is 1. This is 3. And the point B is somewhere over, its x value is somewhere over here at 1 plus h. And usually, and always, when we're looking in calculus, the predominant thing is to let h be positive, okay? So meaning that we're moving to the right. It doesn't have to necessarily be that way, right? Okay, we can come from the other side too. There's nothing wrong with that. And we are specifically going to look at making h really close to 0. Okay, so I'm just going to move it. I'm just going to say h is a positive value for right now, just for argument's sake. So it moves it over a little bit. And also its y value. So b, remember b has the coordinates 1 plus h and 3 plus 2h. And so we don't know how far 2h is, but okay, like if this is h, I'll just eyeball it in here. So 3 plus 2h. So this is the point B at 1 plus h, 3 plus 2h. Okay, now I want to find the slope between those guys. Okay, so let's just go ahead and draw the line in. So, oops, we're a little bit below, but that's all right. Okay, you get the idea. So there's the line. So the slope of that line is the change in the y values over the change in the x values. Well, the change in the y values, it's 3 plus 2h minus 3. And then the change in the x values is 1 plus h minus 1. Okay, so what are those numbers? Let me just okay, this right here is this, and this right here is this. Okay, so if we do some simplification, we just end up with 2h on the top and just h on the bottom, because notice that these guys cancel out and these guys cancel out. Now here's something that's really important. People will say to you, well, let's just cancel these h's out as well, and we'll get 2. So the slope here is 2. And that's correct. Okay, the slope is 2. So the slope of this line is 2. However, we have to be careful. If h is equal to 0, then there is no slope. Why? Because if h is 0, you have to divide by 0. Okay, so that can't be done, right? Because that's undefined. So what we're saying is that 2h over h equals 2 as long as, and it should, instructors don't say this to you. Okay, they say, oh, let's just cancel these out and this is what we have. But these two guys, in order for this equality to hold, h can't be, I'm going to erase this just so that we have this here, h can't be 0. Okay, so it's so important. To go from here to here, h can't be 0. Now, if h is anything else, then the slope of this line is 2. So let me go ahead and show you that that's also true. So let's say we had the point A at 1, 3, and then we have the point B. Now let's pick a value for h that's not 0. Like let's say 5. Well then B, which is 1 plus h, and 3 plus 2h, so then B is going to be 6, right, because 1 plus 5, and then 2 times 5 is 10, so 13. And if we compute the slope here, it's going to be 13 minus 3 over 6 minus 1, which is 10 over 5, which, what do you know, is 2. So why don't you go ahead and take a second, pick an h value, anything you want, okay, and then see if you can find the slope, and I bet you get a value of 2. Just make sure that you don't pick an h value of 0.